Welcome back to Packernet. JJ Leahy, Ryan Schlip, and Jake Shavink here with you today. And I'm going to crack my beverage here. I'm covering up the logo for now.
Is that what we're doing? We're cracking stuff?
I actually did.
Until this company agrees to sponsor this show. Because I'm the biggest fan of this company.
Boom.
Spilled everywhere.
And their delicious drinks. You can't get free advertising, man. Listen to that. Oh,
yeah, who could
we getting hammered tonight?
Hammered on
wouldn't be derailed.
Got some LaCroix.
Dude, I love LaCroix.
Whoa. Like, not sponsored by LaCroix. Not sponsored.
I mean,
yeah.
Sparkling water of some sort.
Sparkling
LaFleur.
Lime
LaFleur carbonated carbonated beverage.
Liquid LaFleur.
All right, some other non-sponsored beverages that I enjoy. Bubbly and Aha. Those are nice alternatives when I need a little bit of a break from LaCroix.
Yes.
But again, I mean, all these
not
drinks
sponsored, so
until they start sponsoring us,
do
not buy these drinks until they start sponsoring us.
Don't drink anything until they pay us for it.
Yeah, water.
Tyler
Don't
Dershel tweeted at me that he was going to donate $5 if I shotgunned a ghost.
Ooh, there you go.
Live on stream. I don't know if I can physically do that. It sounds dangerous.
I'd do it for $5. It's gonna hurt, but I would do it.
So I saw the
just out of curiosity. I just want to know if plus I haven't shotgunned anything in like 15 years, so it'd be interesting to see how that goes.
I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't think I remember how to shotgun something. I would have to look up the steps and make sure that I'm not just going to
crack the
projectile vomit.
We'll go through a step-by-step process.
Yeah. Somebody Google
how derailed episode.
How to shotgun energy drink.
Sparkling water.
That's it. I'll start with LaCroix and work my way up from there.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
What's like halfway between a LaCroix and a Ghost? Like a Red Bull.
Pepsi?
Oh, you said you weren't going to say it.
You've ruined it.
Well, how do they know to sponsor us if the algorithm doesn't pick up the word?
Oh, I guess
they're going to find us.
It's fine.
I think after Ghost comes Four Loko, right?
Oh no. I think if you shotgun one of those, we'll see in a few days. After you if you're in the ICU,
You start twitching.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll get the viewers up though a little bit. JJ's just twitching in the corner a little bit.
Yeah.
Why you do the little?
Why don't we see him? He fell on the floor.
Live. JJ might be dead.
Yeah.
So the MVP odds are out right now, and you got Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts are the top leading contenders, and this makes me wonder why. Like, if this is what we're dealing with, if this is what we have to pick from, and it's got to be a quarterback, and there's no good quarterbacks, why isn't Jordan Love in the mix?
Give him a few weeks.
6-6.
Yeah.
Why?
Let him
legitimately.
Let him beat up on the Giants and the Panthers. If they throw up like a 35-10, do a couple of those with Jordan having 4 touchdowns and no picks, he'll start getting in the conversation.
We got our first listener in the chat here. Michael says Packers talk, or how these 3 clowns can make money so their wives don't kick them out. Joke's on you.
Joke's on you. Don't have a wife.
Already kicked me out.
Tough scene.
I just need one donation to justify doing this. That's all. Otherwise, it's just a stupid hobby. I might as well be down here playing video games, which I'm also doing that, but don't worry about it.
I'm going to wait until we have more than one viewer before I start begging for money. But I will
we
know
have 7.
the JJ pay counter is at 0. Well, I can't see the number of people. I can just see the comments.
Shame on you for doubting that I got some pull, all right?
Tyler Dershel, you better be in here. I already said your name on stream.
Yeah.
If you're not going to actually show up, you're getting demoted.
He promised you money. He's not showing up.
Also, Tyreek Hill for MVP, probably.
That ain't going to happen.
Are you crazy? He's not a quarterback.
He's not a
2,000 yards.
He's not a quarterback. You
it doesn't matter how many. It doesn't matter that he's the greatest of all time. He doesn't throw the ball like he's mediocre, like freaking Brock Purdy.
Hey, you know who threw the ball last night? Tyler Boyd. That went well.
All right, Tyler Boyd for MVP because he threw the ball.
No, Wicks for
He
MVP.
qualifies.
Wicks for MVP, right?
Wicks has been
He
slinging it,
threw
dude.
Yeah.
Did you
Like
see?
a
He's got a
run.
cannon.
The yard.
Did you guys see the? This is the throw the damn ball guy. He shared. Let me zoom in here before I share it. Okay. Share screen. So this is how often a wide receiver faces single coverage and their separation on those plays. Did you see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so right here we have Devontae Adams. And over here, Dontavian Wicks. More
Yeah.
separation. Just saying.
he's
Dontavian
been-
Wicks, wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
Can I say free Garrett Wilson, trade him to the Packers? Free that man from the terrible QBs.
Right.
Oh, I just
on the
noticed El
Jets.
Nazard. Look, he's in
Yeah,
the
Why is the conversation always what of our great players has to go to the Jets? What a stupid conversation. How about their great
I'm
players
flipping
come
the
here?
script. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm how the turning tables right now. Okay.
Enough of this nonsense.
All right. Also, the Patriots might have hit on a receiver, which is very rare.
Plus, I think we've already discovered that experiment failed. I don't think there's a single Packer left in New York anymore. They're all gone. Amos is with the Texans now.
Did you hear the Tim Boyle theory? Apparently, this is alleged, and it was one of those, like, when it was posted in the types of places where, like, the rumors that are 100% true but sound crazy at first always originate. And it was that the reason Tim Boyle got cut was not because he sucks at football, which he does. It was because he was the guy who talked to Diana Rossini and told her that Zach Wilson didn't want to play.
Oh, there it is.
That's
I saw Aaron Rodgers today. I don't usually watch that show, but that topic came up, and Rodgers was not super happy about whoever that person was, which maybe he has an idea who that might be.
And I think that, and I didn't watch it, but somebody pointed out that, like, a couple of things that he had said about it really sounded like, kind of directed toward a Tim Boyle type of, I thought you were my dude or something.
Sure.
Could be. Maybe Randall Cobb did it.
It's probably
You never
Cobb.
know. Al Lazard's been a healthy scratch recently. You never know.
Right? What's that all about? Maybe it's everybody. Maybe that's why everybody's getting cut. All the Packers are in there just blabbing.
Yep. Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, and Sauce Gardner, and like Quentin Williams, just like, what happened? What's going on here?
Thought we had a thing here.
Yeah, what happened? We were exciting.
So the Packers right now are the 12th highest overall graded team in the NFL on the season. And it's one of those times where I look at it and I can't figure out the math, because offensively, they're 13th. Defensively, they're 14th. Special teams, 18th.
I was going to say.
So I don't know
there's
how
no way they're
overall
elevating it.
they're at 12th. I don't understand this, but
There's got to be
because everybody
someone
there's all the
bad
other
in
teams are
something.
like 5th on offense and 28th on defense or
It's gotta be
whatever.
what it is, yeah. Somebody's like, it might be Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
See what they did with Browning last night? I mean, hello.
Jacksonville is 15th overall, tied with the Rams.
Well, there you go.
Which is interesting
Losers.
because when you look at their record, none of the other teams around them have any kind of a record like that. They are in with all the 5 and 7 teams, and they're sitting there at 8 and 4.
Frauds.
Thin margins. Thin margins.
Looks like their defense is the thing that's holding them down. So this was a cool win for the Packers, and it's got a lot of people excited about the playoffs, excited about not only maybe could the Packers get in the playoffs, which looks pretty likely at this point, but could they win a game or two once they get there? So I want to talk about, hey, it's been a while. Let's check in on the state of the whole team. How good are they actually? And what are some vulnerabilities that upcoming opponents could look to poke at? And I want to be clear. This is not, hey, quit being excited about the win. We're the negative Nancy's. It's not that. It's, listen, we're not perfect. So where are we not perfect? Let's talk about it. And I think I'd like to start by just addressing the trenches. Does that sound good to you guys?
Sure.
Is that a response to Chris down here at the bottom?
Given the recent change of events,
because I
says
agree.
Chris, how do the Packers attack the draft? Excellent.
Jake, let's get
segue.
started.
All right.
Give me-
We'll get there.
Since
Or
we're going to
are
be
we-
picking
oh,
now in
okay.
the 20s, it seems, give me a right guard that we can pick in the 20s.
The worst
guard
the
to
worst
Or a
pass
tackle we can move
blocking-
to guard.
pick. Graham Barton from Duke's a great one. Move
Nailed
him
it.
to
All
guard,
right.
play
Next
center
question.
maybe as well. Yeah. There you
Heck
go.
yeah. Elton Jenkins 2.0.
There it is.
All right.
I think
Seriously.
do we
They
answer
just
the
like,
question?
all
Or
right,
I don't
that's
even
it.
remember anymore. I'm all hopped up on LaCroix, dude. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, a big question that I know I had before the season even started is, the heck are we going to do if we suffer any injuries on the interior, because we have no depth? And then I was pretty ticked off about what I saw from John Runyon in the preseason games.
Yeah.
And I don't think that a lot has changed for me now that the season has started. I have not had any conversations with either of you guys recently about the offensive line. Where are you guys right now on biggest priorities mid-season and going forward with this offensive line?
I like our offensive line, but it needs some work. And if for no other reason, I think we're exhausting our depth. Like, guys have stepped up, and that's cool. Guys like Rasheed Walker, and I like it. But he's our depth right now. And if we get an injury at this point, I don't know who we turn to. So I'd like to get back to, hey, let's see if we can find a tackle and maybe upgrade the guard situation and allow guys like Rasheed Walker to go back to being a really solid backup, kind of like what we had with Yash, who I think his tenure here is kind of run its course, in my opinion, especially considering
that
how
was
much
a question I had. Do you guys
especially
think that Yash is back next year?
I would not. I mean, his price tag has gone up, and Rasheed has been significantly better than Yash, I think, at this point. I think we have enough options, so we don't need to be paying him, even though, I mean, it's not exorbitant. It's a couple $1,000,000 or whatever, but it's still more than we need to be. But yeah, I'd just like to hammer that, see if we can go from like adequate to really good, see if we can maybe pull off a little bit of an Eagles thing, and just allow some of these other guys to be backups. And if somebody wants to move on because they don't like that, that's fine. We can allow guys like Sean Ryan or whatever to be the backup. But that would be my biggest priorities. We need to shore up this offensive line a little bit, improve it, and improve the depth.
Worst
Hi, Alicia.
starting offensive lineman we have right now. Jake, go.
Whoever's playing right guard. It doesn't matter who it is. That's the weakest spot right now. I want to piggyback onto Ryan saying, yeah, Rasheed Walker. Like, I think not to bring this team up, but I think we're in a really similar situation with left tackle as the Bears are right now, where it's like, okay, this guy can like do enough.
Yeah.
And it's fine. And like, we can get away with stuff with Rasheed Walker playing left tackle. At the same time, it'd be really nice to have somebody over there who could just lock things down and kind of just, not have to really at some point in the season. I think we're going to probably talk about, some of these teams in the upper echelon of the NFC where you go, that's kind of a worry. Like, I like him, but like, Micah Parsons,
Right.
Chase Young, Nick Bosa, like I'm a little worried. Like that's the only thing, right? Because I think you look at like Josh Myers at the very least, like, again, we're not good run blocking team. This is how it is. Okay. But I think Myers has bought himself another season at the very least. Like, the pass protection, like, this is what this team's built on. So, to watch I get it, it's Chris Jones, but to watch him just absolutely just baptize Runyon and Ryan.
I'm like, Ryan comes in for a snap and just gets thrown.
Yeah.
Okay,
I was like,
cool.
oh, Ryan's in. This is fine. Like, 15 minutes ago, watching Runyon get just baptized by Chris Jones. And it's like, oh, nope, same thing. Okay, nice. And it just, it fires the imagination. It's like, all right, well, so let's say they get in the 7 seed, right? Philly's the 1. You win a game. It's like, well, here you go. Jalen Carter, what's up? Probably going to do the same thing. Like Milton Williams, all these guys on the interior that the Eagles have, like, probably going to be something that's worrisome once you get into the postseason. So I think like, is it a super guard class? Not really, but like there are some guys that I think they can easily upgrade there. And if they can somehow stumble their way into getting another, pretty close to elite left tackle, I'm all in.
Chris points out that Bakhtiari tweeted that he was going to play next year. This is his plan. Do we think he's back?
That's a tough one. I mean, that was an easy pass not too long ago. I just wonder at this point. I mean, I know the injury thing is so scary. It's like if we can extend him and kind of get the number down, if we think he can play, I just don't think he can make it to the end of the year. I'm so nervous about that knee. I just don't think it can be a thing, but it would be really tempting if you talk to a bunch of doctors and they're like, no, I promise this time he's good, to look at your team and realize, man, if we could get a healthy Bach, even just for like two more years, that would be incredible. Yeah. I just think you're asking for trouble. And I think the Packers are the kind of team that are going to, they always like to get out a year early. You look at Amos and all these other guys. I think Bakhtiari, we're going to, I mean, especially if there's any value on the table for him, which I don't know if there would be, but if you can get something for him and move him, I know it's tempting to hold on, but I think it's a ticking time bomb with that knee.
I think he'd fare better in Green Bay than at MetLife. We've already seen the damage that MetLife's turf causes. But like, yeah, I think with him, it was really cool to see him tweet that he's fired up to come back. Like that's really like,
yes.
I enjoy seeing that. Like, I think, him tweeting, put cheese on everything, which is what, Gary has always tweeted. Like, it's really cool. I think he's at the very least still like very invested in this team, which is awesome. It's just, it's a question of can it hold up? Like it really sucks that it has persisted since 2020. Like it sucks. Do I think you give him that chance? Possibly. But to me, like we've seen serviceable Rasheed Walker. You go in the draft with that, attitude of like, all right, well, he's serviceable, but we can upgrade. And it's like, all right, then it's kind of, be more stacked at tackle just in case. Sure. But it just feels like Ryan said, moving on a year before,
contract-wise, they have themselves in a tough spot because his cap hit next year is $40.5 million.
Yes, it's rough.
Lovely.
19 of which is dead money. I think I would probably bet on they move him and eat the 19.
Yeah.
And free up the 21.5.
And that's another point too, is, you think about, well, we're kind of going on a run here. Maybe we could use them. We could also use that money. You know what I mean? I mean, you're talking what, $20 million to move them. You can put that toward, you can put it toward a guard. If you don't end up doing something, you can get top tier guard for that kind of money or whatever you want to do. I don't really care. I'm just saying you can still use
8% of our salary cap.
Yeah. It's a big chunk.
You look at what we're doing this year with like $115 million of, dudes either not on the team or on IR right now.
Exactly.
And what we're still making happen with that. Yeah. Man, if you could free up 21.5, like you said, bring in a guard, bring in whatever you need, bring in a cornerback, a safety.
Right.
Okay, this is a good exercise. If you had 21.5 right now that you could spend on whatever, I know we're past the trade deadline. Yes. Pretend we're not. What would you spend 21.5 on to get us through the rest of the season and to put ourselves in the best situation for trying to really make some noise in the playoffs?
Can I pay someone in the offseason instead? Because I would probably just go out and pay L'Jarius Sneed in a heartbeat, I think, if he becomes a free agent.
Ryan, do you still hate L'Jarius Sneed?
I didn't know I hated him, but yeah, I guess I'll hang on to that one. I don't even remember anything about him. You remember what I say better than I do. It's pretty incredible.
Well, I don't know. I feel weird when you say that though. like a
Well, you,
weird guy.
Remember
No, it's just
everything you say.
some people have those memories and some
Yeah.
people don't. Like some guys are the ones that like they remember the stats and the games and all that kind of stuff, and I just can't do that. So I say something and I forget, and I get not just JJ, but a lot of people like you said back at this. Like I don't know, dude. Yeah, I guess I'll defend it, even though I don't agree with it anymore. But I'll just go ahead and ride with that.
Ooh, we got a fantastic question here from Eric. Is a super chat,
No,
Patreon, or some other location
Skip over
best for
Goose's
donations?
comments.
Yeah.
My 21.5 is going to get split between two guards.
There we go.
Are you going to donate 21.5 million to our show?
How about $21.5?
$2.15. I'll take $2.15.
$2.15. We'll take it.
Looking at safety free agents right now, just because I'm very curious.
Yeah, Eric, super chats are good because it gets split between us. Patreon is just a me thing.
Unless if you want to do a super chat and specify that it all goes to me,
That's
that is
correct.
also
then
acceptable.
it would. Or Jake.
And then it goes
just to
in a
really
special
shake things up.
cookie fund.
Yep.
Jake, have you ever
No, it's
gotten
okay,
a
I'm just-
solo donation on this live stream before?
No, I'm just happy to be here, man.
No.
I'm looking at
Like
so-
legitimately, donate for JJ. Hey, Xavier McKinney, 24 years old right now, 87 coverage grade this year. Just saying, like,
There you go.
throw some money his way.
I
Potentially.
think
Goose.
Man.
What do you? Goose has a comment. I'll pay 19 for a first or second. What do you mean?
I think he's saying like I'd eat the cap for like trading Bakhtiari for
I don't know if you're gonna get a first round. Pick
I'm not
out of
sure you're gonna
Bakhtiari
get a two,
anymore.
to be
I'm not sure
honest.
you'll get a second.
Yeah.
Hey,
third round, baby. We love that.
a fourth sounds about right. I think. Hey, Mike.
Look
AKA
at Miami
Packers
Packers
super
super fan.
$2 super chat.
Mike is the best. I mean, there's a lot of competition, but as far as guys that just like bring a smile to your face every time they show up, whenever you get the call, hey, it's Packer super fan, it just makes you happy. And then there's some other competition, but he always comes in here with $2 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Packer super fan's a good dude. Now I got to do
Well,
math.
I also
sucks,
like.
but aside from
I also
that,
like his profile picture where he's like grinning from ear to
oh
ear.
yeah, he's the happiest guy in the world.
Yeah.
that's how super fans are.
That's how. Yeah, they're
Win
they're
or
just
lose,
jacked
baby.
all the
We're-
time.
We're having a great day.
Then we got a $5
Oh, my
donation
goodness.
from Aaron Kate. That is
Oh,
my
geez.
mama.
Whew.
Hey, mama.
Dang. Look at that.
Then we have
oh
the
my
donation
goodness.
is flooding in.
Goose is
Goose
like,
coming
no,
in
you're
with
not
his
passing
crazy
me
Canadian
over.
money.
Is crazy Canadian money. $2.79 from Goose.
All right, I got to pull up the converter here. Let's see. CAD to USD. Let's see how much money we made.
It was probably like
279
50 cents Canadian.
Oh, come on. It's not even loading.
Love
Goose
it.
with Canadian money. Yikes. Gross.
Well-
It shines like that exchange rate, man. I think.
Yeah, that money's tainted with communism.
I think it's a little on the nose that
Yeah.
Goose is giving us Canadian money because they call the Canadian dollar a loony.
That's
Right?
true. That makes sense.
That's perfect for
Their money
derails.
is pretty
Canadian
wild. I remember I went to
waterfowl.
Canada and I'm
Oh.
like, this money's fun. Like, there's crazy. It's wild. Like, there's people playing hockey and stuff. Like, you guys are just having a good time up there.
Oh yeah.
We're all serious with like presidents that look pissed off and everything.
Apparently, it's just all
Google is
monopoly
failing.
money.
I have the converter
according to
pulled up and
Google.
it won't let me type into it.
That's tough. You hate to see that.
Tough scene. We got any other questions or? It's all monopoly money here. That's what I'm saying. It's like it seems like monopoly money. Like it's
I
just
know that Europe
fun.
too. All these like cool colors on the.
Oh, I know
bills.
they're
It's
so
like,
colorful and
what's
happy
going on
and
here? It's like
just
no,
like,
no,
we
green and more.
Yeah.
That's it.
we did.
Okay?
I remember when we had
Don't
when
get happy that you have
we
this.
got that $100 bill that got like multicolored, and I was like, "What are we doing here?" Like,
Oh
just assumed the dollar was
purple
going to zero.
$5 bill.
We can't.
like
have
our
fun.
money
What
was
are you
just going
talking
to
about?
zero at that point. Like, oh, we're
Yeah.
done. It's
Yeah,
over.
it
We're
is.
screwed.
It's over. It's over.
I got
We're
the
just gonna make
converter
it
up
look
and running.
good to make you think it's worth something. It's not.
Exactly.
Goose sent us $2 and 5 1/3 cents in US dollars. So make sure when you're doing the math on that
my brain just broke. What happened?
I need my 1/3
Goose.
of that 1/3.
He's over there like typing fractions just to screw
Did I
with
have
us.
too much of this energy drink? Did I hear that right? Like what?
So that times 1/3.
They do scent it, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
We each
Look at
get
Chris coming in hot.
67
Hello.
and 2/3 cents.
All
And I don't even have to
From-
really
from
do like
Goose's
hard
donation.
math for that one.
Look at
Thank you
that,
for making
too.
it a multiple of 3.
Look at that.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Now on my
Boom.
mom's donation, it says super sticker. Can you see what the sticker is? I don't see a
No,
sticker.
it just says
sticker.
super sticker. I don't know.
All right, I got to pull up our live stream and
There
on
you go.
YouTube another tab.
we
so
got
right,
stickers
I-
over there. Make
Well,
sure you
she can't
subscribe
send
to
me
the
a sticker
YouTube
and
channel.
then
We
I
got
don't even
stickers
see
and
it.
stuff.
All right.
Here we go. Serious
got it.
question. Mike's got a question for you, Jake.
Oh, Mike, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, the sticker is
Packers
it's a
superfan.
little
Are we gonna
it's
talk
a little it's a little dog clapping and saying bravo.
Yes.
Are we gonna talk
Love
about
it.
elusive rating for another 28 minutes? Like
Yes. Elusive rate. We could check this past week, find out who the most elusive running back was.
Oh, conference championship weekend.
Yeah,
I feel like probably the Texas guy that backs
That
up
makes
Brooks,
sense.
who came in.
that makes sense.
He was running dudes over in that
What?
game. Well,
Why is
Texas
my
was
sister
running
here?
guys over here too.
Hi, Jamie.
You get your whole family in the
Yeah, what-
in the
why
chat
are there so
here.
many people?
Going
Like your
on?
mom's here. Like there's so many people hanging out with us right
Having
now.
a
What's going
great
on?
time.
Well, I
Jake just
gotta
wants to talk about running backs, and we're just... Please
I
let
gotta
me
shout
talk
my
about
mom
running
out.
backs.
I gotta
Alright.
shout my mom
No,
out
you're
because
fine.
she texted me earlier and asked if we were going to live stream. And I said I wasn't sure I was going to be able to because I had too much work to get done today. And so she asked what she could do to help make sure I could get my schedule freed up. So she came over and watched my daughter for an hour. And that's why we're even live streaming tonight, because otherwise I wouldn't be here.
Chris, that's the story of the show, man.
What's going on?
We missed
a
everybody's
question on the
question.
donation, yo.
Oh,
What
I gotta.
happened?
All right. Let me go back a little bit here.
Mike, I
Where
promise we'll get there.
All right.
think.
I have the answer
we did that one.
to Chris's question. And that is that the most elusive running back
We
from
got
this
to that a
past
little bit.
week was a 700 elusiveness rating for Jaden Thomas at UNLV.
Oh, darn it. I guessed
we go.
who it was. I went to Jonty's page from Boise State. It was the
Yeah,
right game.
He was number 2
Dang it.
at
I was
297,
so
but that
close, man.
that's nowhere near a 700 though. I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
but
Jaden
Jonty's-
Thomas put
Jonty's having a
Jonty
year,
on his
though.
keister.
Yeah, but Jonty's having a year. Okay.
All right, there it is.
Um,
Does Savage get another extension? That's the question, and I think it's a
Yes.
legitimate question.
Yes, because I don't think that other teams are going to be that interested.
Yes.
And I think the Packers still really like him, and I still like him too. So yeah, I think he'll be back. I don't think he'll get paid a lot.
Yep.
Probably I think actually here's my prediction. Do you remember Kevin King's final contract that everybody was super
No.
ticked off about?
Like
It's going to
2
be
million or
whatever
something?
the today money version of that is. It's going to be slightly higher, but about the same. It had like 4 void years on it. They're going to do that with him.
Yeah, I think
This-
so. And for the same reason you said, I think they're going to pay him what he's worth, which nobody else really wants to, and he doesn't really want to leave. And it's going to be a low amount, and it's going to be fine because we need safeties. We don't have any. Even if we draft some, we still need them.
Goose, what the heck?
Yeah.
All right, we got that one. I'm
Goose,
still
why
going.
did you
through.
send that?
Mike, I got you.
Did we
I
touch
like-
on this one? You got the running backs?
we did not.
Okay.
I think for mid rounds, I would say 2 players that I really like.
Corum.
One, Devin Neal from Kansas. We mentioned him last week a little bit. I just think he's no nonsense mixed in with make you miss. And like there are guys who, and you've seen guys like it. Barkley was one of those guys who like just bounced it out no matter what because he just believed he had everything to kind of win the corner every time. I think there are guys that understand their limits, know when to take chances. Neal is one of those guys. He's tough as nails between the tackles. Taj Brooks would be the other one from Texas Tech. He had a big year, 1,451 yards, 9 touchdowns. He's got some juice as well. I think you talk about like Henderson and Allen and a lot Estime even probably are guys going to be funneled up a little bit higher than the mid rounds. So I would throw out those two.
I was going to say Estime if JJ didn't bring him up because I think that's your guy, isn't it, JJ?
Well, I mean, he's my guy without looking into anything at all. It's just, just from watching him in a game, I loved him.
JJ might hate him in 2 months. You don't know.
That is absolutely plausible.
You might be like, man, this dude, I liked
yet.
him, but he's overrated. Yeah. Possible.
The last couple of years, I put my database together and start sorting by the stats that matter the most to me. And 2 years ago, it immediately gave me Kingsley and Agbar. I'm like, oh, this is my guy. Last year it gave me Carl Brooks. I'm like, oh, this is my guy. Like immediately, like day one, it was those two guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, is that
so I'm excited to see who it's going to be this year. I haven't done anything yet.
All right. What other questions did we miss here? How about this one? Is Wicks trending towards being Devontae 2.0? Is Reed the next Cobb, but a higher upside? Who would be the Jordy equivalent? Is it Watson? We're reaching for the stars on this one.
Yeah.
Is Watson the Jordy?
Yeah, because I think Dobbs is James Jones, right? He drops those easy ones that you're like, what are you doing? And then he makes like ridiculous catches in traffic where it's like, all right, okay. You do you, man. Love it. Like, so I think everybody else looks pretty good, actually.
Taj Brooks, by the way, only has a 109.2 elusiveness rating.
Okay.
Can't have that.
Poverty. Pretty poverty.
Is Trey Benson expected to be kind of a freak?
Yes, absolutely. At his size, the way he's going to run, he might be the first one off. If everybody's injured, if everybody's worried about like Henderson's injuries, good chance he's the first one off.
Because I was looking at it, I'm like, who's a Packer guy? And I just looked, and I'm looking at 223, 6'1", expected to run a 4.37. I'm like, oh, so we're drafting that guy. All right, cool.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. They just might like be like, hey, second round, sure. We'll take the first running back.
Yeah.
Because like, what do you think about like this team right now? This is something I wanted to bring up too. It's like, okay, you're picking in like the 20s, you're picking in the 30s, maybe low 50s, and then like anywhere between like 75 to 85. It's like probably just taking the best player you like at every spot. Like legitimately, there's not going to be like, all right, well, this tackle run started. We just better take one in the 20s. It's like they're not going to do that, right? Like it's very possible that Benson's their highest graded player when they're picking at 38 or even 50 or something. Like it's very possible they just go for it.
It's like if you take Blake Corum and add 5 inches and 10 pounds. It's like there you go.
And a bit more juice, really, in straight line, like dangerous stuff.
Sorry, Eric. It's called Derailed for a reason. I apologize. I was just looking at this and decided to interrupt everything.
He's a dude.
So Goose has a thing. It's not a question. It's just a statement. This team totally feels like 2010. I would like to point out we did not win the division in 2010. We were a wild card.
Still might.
And if you're looking for reasons to be excited about, again, Goose, why did you?
What's going on?
I just saw that as I'm scrolling through. Like, what are we doing
I
here?
saw that a little while. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
And here's the thing: if you look through the
got to go
messages that
backwards and
came
see
from before, it relates to nothing.
No, it does. It
does.
Yeah,
no,
the one immediately above it.
Oh, okay. Huh?
His comment immediately above it.
Yeah, the one in between Eric and Elevated Shine.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I get it.
Yes.
No,
That's why I like
I get you, Goose. I got it.
Who were you giving $3 million a year to?
Okay.
Savage?
Is this the same Packer Superfan or another one? Did I miss
one.
No,
Same
it's
one,
a different one.
different donation.
Yeah, different donation.
Oh, 2 donations? Dang.
Yeah. Mike's coming up.
I'm just getting caught up and I'm missing them. All right. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you.
So we got Chris at $6, Mama at $5, and Packer Superfan here at $4.98.
Yes.
$3.98.
These are MVPs.
Yeah.
I can't really leave Goose out as the only other person who donated with that 205 American. And
205 and a third.
Hey, Chris. Go Pack Go from North Carolina. If you chose one disrespectful or nasty thing
Are we going to answer
to
Mike's
put in a
question?
Chicago Bears fan stocking on Christmas Day, what would it be?
Are we answering Mike's question first?
About Joe Barry? Joe Barry is
Yeah.
a street name in Green Bay soon, isn't he? I think Joe Barry's back next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I don't listen. Was the schedule soft? Yeah, a little bit. Will they gladly keep continuity? Yeah.
Yeah. That was my whole thing on the podcast is what's happened this year fireable, and I don't think you could say that it is.
Probably not.
Well,
Unless
and
the
to
Niners
everybody
drop
who
80 in a playoff game, maybe.
Yeah.
to everybody who just like wants anything else other than Joe Barry, may I remind you that the person doing the hiring to fill that position will be Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
Do you really want him looking for a new defensive coordinator for you?
I think
Sometimes
the two
devil
names
you
are
know.
pretty obvious as well. If he looks for
Sean
somebody.
Menenga.
Well, I think one is Staley, right? He's getting fired. I think everybody's pretty much in agreement there. Like he's gone. No playoffs this year, probably. Like, and then crazier things happening in the Big Apple. I think he would hire Saleh for sure.
I think he would really enjoy working with Saleh.
Yeah,
actually,
I think he would do that.
Saleh, I think they were both the best men in each other's weddings, but for sure one of them was the best man in the other guy's wedding.
Wait, are you saying are you implying Saleh might not be the head coach
in New York?
I'm not. I'm saying I think crazier things have happened. I think there's at some point like you need to have some success. Like I know because they're going to use the injury as part of that, but like team building wise, like insurance at quarterback, like not making any like. I just did a lot of weird stuff, and it's like very clear that like obviously bringing over Rodgers' friends at receiver did not work out. I have this like strange feeling that like even if Saleh doesn't get fired this year, it might be the year after where they're like, all right, well, we're picking 6. All right, Brock Bowers, it is, baby. And then Rodgers like gets drilled a bunch again, and they don't have and it's the same thing over and over, and they kind of struggle. And like
I just feel like it's hard at that point. I mean, if Saleh and or Staley are sitting there, I mean, as much as Joe Barry maybe doesn't deserve to be fired, it's hard to not look at it and seriously consider it. Because I feel like Staley's just a better version of what we have, which would keep some of the continuity. And Robert Saleh is just, I mean, it's hard to pass on a guy if he's just sitting there saying, I'd be willing to come be your DC. And it's like, nah, I don't know, fire Joe Barry. I can't do that to Joe.
I'm just imagining that, like, I think Rashawn Gary and Robert Saleh just bringing some intensity, man. Oh gosh.
Let me throw out a Saleh thing too. So the current defensive coordinator for the 49ers is Steve Wilkes, and he's been a head coach. It's his first year in San Francisco. I think it's probably pretty likely Steve Wilkes is not getting any kind of looks for head coaching gigs after this season. Maybe give him a couple more years as the defensive coordinator in San Francisco. Maybe it'll start happening. I don't get the sense right now that NFL teams are interested in having Steve Wilkes come in and run their program right now. And if Saleh does get fired, number one job option that he would most want has got to be back in San Francisco again, right? Number two, I think would have to be working for Matt LaFleur, right?
Yep.
I would think so. Yeah. I don't know.
Especially if things are going well. Like if things were continuing to trend downward and we were like a top 5 pick, I'm not sure that would be his best option. But if we make a serious run as the youngest team in football that just needs a little bit of help with direction and has a star quarterback and all that stuff, and you get to work with Matt LaFleur, I mean, I think that's pretty enticing.
Right. Michael, $1.99 super chat, is Joe Barry back next year? So that's what we're discussing right now. I think we all agreed that we think he probably is back next year, but the big question would be if Robert Saleh becomes available, would LaFleur rather work with Saleh than stay loyal to
Yeah,
and
tough.
And I think that the other question is, would Joe Barry have the fortitude to actually say, this is an upgrade, I need to do it, as opposed to saying, you know, I can't fire Joe Barry based on his performance, therefore I'm not going to consider it.
You're good, Michael. Said sorry we was late. No, you're fine. It's a good
question.
I'm
I'm working my way down. I just haven't gotten down there because I figure we haven't touched on Chris's question here. So
that's fair.
Yeah, Michael's just came in before everything gets
Michael's
lost.
just came in the last minute, and I wanted to let him know.
Yep.
The answer to his question, since we're talking about it right now.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't
hate it, Chris, but I don't think they're. I think they do. They have the like the super alpha, like, you know, hey man, can you win 1-on-1 against like Patrick Surtain or like Trayvon Diggs or like guys like that? No, I don't think so. Can Wicks maybe be that? Potentially, in terms of route running prowess, yeah. I love to have somebody like Neighbors or a Dunze be a 1, or even Xavier Legette from South Carolina, who's like got the like build and speed of DK. Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah. Will they do that? No.
So no. Here's a question for you. Because let's say we are picking in the 20s, how far down this list of wide receivers do you go before you're saying this isn't that true number 1 alpha anymore? Harrison's gone. Neighbors is gone.
Yeah, probably.
Adunze's probably gone.
Yeah.
Like, are we still in that, like, this guy can be that, like, next Devontae category?
I have some reservations about Keon Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's still, like, part of me that's like, he's probably just better as like a Higgins, like a number 2, where you're like, all right, cool, ball winner type, like flashes everywhere else. Legette might be the last one from South Carolina. I don't think Ibuka's like Ibuka's good. Do I think he's like, oh yeah, baby, like, you know, can he do like, you know, what the Rams did down the stretch when they won the Super Bowl, putting Odell on the backside and letting him win? Like, no, I don't think so.
I have no idea what Ibuka is. I watched every game of his career, and I don't feel like I have any kind of handle on what he is. And a big part of it is he was so banged up all year, barely played all year, didn't look very good when he was out there. You know, and we have seen some cool stuff from him in the past. I think right now my money would be on him probably going back to school for another year to try and improve his draft stock, because I can't imagine that the NFL consensus on him is anywhere near as high as what he's hoping for. You know, you look at the Olave and Wilson and even JSN, and then where Marvin's projected to go, you know, that's what he is trying to shoot for. And I think right now he's probably looking at back of the first, maybe some as far as middle of the second round right now. I think he probably goes back to school again.
It's possible.
How about instead? Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Martin. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, how about instead of like trying to find the Devontae, if we just find that compliment, sort of that, like, as you said, alpha, shoot for like Johnny Wilson. You think that's just like, I know he's not going to be Devontae, but he's just like basically a tight end that you can throw it up to.
Yeah, like
just go get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he could be a what's his name out in Tampa. Just be a big.
Well, if you're looking for the new Jordy, what about Ladd McConkey? He's a wide receiver.
The lad is good. He's a great lad. Like he, I like him. I think that kind of makes sense. But like, do you know how excited Goody would be? You know, it's the second round, and there's a 6'7", 240-pound receiver that gets open at a pretty decent clip. Like,
and I was going to say, like, he's I don't know how reliable this is, but his expected 40 time is 4.42. If that dude runs a 4.42 at 6'7", 237,
he's going first.
Like, is it possible Goody takes a swing and at pick 24 or whatever?
Possibly.
That'd be freaking wild, man.
I think Legette, though, like, as big as he is too.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
he might run even.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't know how reliable these 40 times are, but there's some speed in this class.
Oh,
and they're looking at Legette.
Which page are you looking at?
This is at NFL Draft Buzz. They've got projected 40 times. So Legette, it says 227, 6'3". Yeah. They have him at potentially 4.29.
I think he's. I legitimately pretty sure. I don't think he's going to quite beat DK's 4.33, but I don't think it's going to be very far off.
That's
If
wild,
you would
dude.
just like go type in like Leggett highlights after the show.
Yeah.
He is leaving people.
That's
Is leaving
wild.
people when he catches over the middle. Like it's
Because his
it's
size,
different.
who was the guy, and he's not very good, but who was the guy a couple years ago they were worried about his cardio? Like once he got drafted, like he's huffing and puffing on the sideline. Who the heck was that?
You're talking about Burks from Tennessee?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got that build, but 4.29. Because we were all talking like Burks would be a great fit for the Green Bay Packers and all that.
We were talking about him as the new Debo. Yeah.
Right. Imagine that, like Debo build, but like faster, like a lot faster.
And who has like I think 4.1 yards per run against man coverage, something that Burks did not have.
That I could just see that being like the Packer fan crush here pretty soon.
Oh yes,
Leggett being that.
As people turn the page a little,
right?
They're gonna see the size, and they're gonna see him run away from guys, and they're like, "Oh wow, that's DK again, isn't it?" And
right?
It's like possibly, yeah.
This wide receiver class
Emeka's not far off either.
No,
Emeka is
4.3
kind of the same type of build at a 4.3.
Yeah, 6'1", 206, 4.3 speed. I mean, that's stupid.
Like
I think that 206 is low too. I think he's probably at least 215, 220.
And then,
there's some seriously crushable wide receivers, like in terms of like people are just gonna love this class.
Troy Franklin's probably going to run sub 4.4 as well. He's he's thinner, right? Like he's probably more of a Z than an alpha. Then you have Worthy, who's like super small, right?
I was
like
just
tiny.
So,
he's going to run 4.3 flat, probably somewhere
right.
close to there.
So let me just go through this real quick. It's like
nutty.
Marvin Harrison, 6'4", 205. They got him at 4.39. Neighbors, 6 foot 200. They have him at 4.4 flat.
So fast too.
Leggett, again, 6'3", 227, 4.29. Ibuka, 6'1", whatever, 4.30. Johnny Wilson, 6'7", 237, 4.42. Xavier Worthy is 6'1", 172, a little smaller, but 4.29, which is insane. Troy Franklin is 6'3", 187. They got him at 4.35. That feels like Packers-y. I mean, 187 is a little low, but you got a 6'3" guy running in the 4.3s. That's freaking wild.
Yeah.
Keon Coleman, 6'4", 215. They have him at 4.45. That's fast.
Yeah.
Jermaine Burton, they got him at 4.31.
Yep, he's a vertical threat player.
I mean, it's just all the way down the line. I mean, maybe that's about where it gets cut, but we're talking in the top 10. Go ahead.
Devontae Walker, if he comes out from North Carolina, transferred from I think Toledo or Kent State.
Sure.
You just watch the guy run. He runs like Watson does. He legitimately runs like Watson does.
Well, and that's where you're going to have those guys. Who was the guy, JJ, that you and I really liked? Goofy name this past year, late round guy this past year. What is his name? Kind of a hard name to pronounce. Huh?
Hard name to
pronounce.
The
really tall, Christian Watson, tall, fast.
Yeah. It was,
he's actually doing some stuff this year at wide receiver.
Hard to pronounce. Tall, fast, hard to pronounce.
Yeah,
he's just like went to the Bengals.
Yosavash.
Yep, Yosavash.
Andre Yosavash.
I think there's going to be some Yosavash guys too. Some late round, like Brendan Rice. I don't know where he's expected to go.
I'm still heartbroken the Packers didn't take a swing
on
Yosavash. I don't get it because like every single box he checked. Right. That's one of those head scratchers to me.
Yeah, it was weird.
But we have at USC 6'3", 210, 4.38.
If he runs that, whoa.
That's what they are thinking.
Holy smokes. Yeah, and
Mike wants to know.
Sorry.
Pretty low down the thing. I know we're like losing our
Sorry. So we get into the draft and we just get stupid.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a sort of a draft question. What are our thoughts on Rashee Rice? Rashee Rice was super high on my wide receiver list last year. I love Jaden Reed, but Rashee was the one I wanted to take at the time.
Rice was extremely good. I called him the zone, the space hunter. He was so good at finding space against zone coverage, and you saw that the yards per route run against zone coverage for him was so good, and it's still that way in the league right now. If you watch some of the film this year, it's like he has just a really great understanding of space and where to work to help your quarterback out, and you'll see that even the Jet game on Sunday night that the Chiefs played. there were a couple plays where it's like he's just rolling with Mahomes. He's just on the same page. The scramble drill, finding space. Like he's just really good at that. Yes, he has drops, but like was a great slot, like work of the middle field receiver.
I wish I could remember who, but I know there were some people seriously crushing on Rashee Rice. He was one of those guys. A lot of people loved him.
I know Brian liked him.
Jake, looking at these wide receivers we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Question for you, since we don't have combine or any other kind of drills.
Okay.
Anybody here, as far as like the agility and 3-cone type stuff, just from what you've seen on film, that you are expecting to test well in those areas? Explosiveness and
in this explosive and agility. I think
we know the Packers love that 3-cone.
3-cone, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's. I know somebody was asking about Leggette's 3-cone, and I was like, if he turns like DK,
right,
might have an issue with that testing metric. I think I do think McConkey is going to be really excellent in the agilities. I think Worthy will be as well. I know those are a little bit smaller guys. Jacob Cowing from Arizona, the same way. He'll be down in Mobile. He'll probably be the Tank Dell of Mobile, where it's like, he's a small guy. You can't get it. He's getting open. Like,
it's not terrible.
You can't cover him. Like, that's probably the guy that will do that as well. Like, he's another smaller dude. But like, if you just look at the top, like, Neighbor's explosiveness is just insane.
Yeah,
the numbers are just that RAS card's gonna be so green. It's gonna be, and it's just you just write money on there because like dude's gonna go like top 7. Like it's just there's just gonna be some stupid stuff with this.
All right, we got a bunch of questions here.
Yeah.
We got. I know Chris sent money and a bunch of questions about.
Did he?
Eric Stokes. Michael sent a $1.99. I think Chris sent it earlier.
I don't know what's going on. There we go.
I know he asked about Stokes, but I would also. Have you seen the Game Changer tees that people wear? Like guys are wearing them. They got like the name of the player in big letters up top, and then like different pictures of him, almost like you're putting like a thumbnail together. And like I would get a Jordan Love one for a Bears fan for sure. Drop it in there. Drop it in the stocking.
I'm going to assume I didn't get this one. So if I did, you get an extra like $1. So there you go. Congratulations. Because I can't remember who I added to our little counter and who I didn't.
My counter has not gone up in forever. It still says $5.92. I feel like that was like 7 donations.
No, it was not. It was not. Calm down. Calm down.
I know he did ask about Stokes as well.
Yes, Stokes is in there somewhere.
I mean, as far as Stokes goes,
there we go.
Health has just been the issue, of course, and I don't look at anything that's happened with him injury-wise and say, "Ooh, I have concerns about him being brittle, or we're going to get more injuries in the future." I don't see him as injury-prone. I see a couple really unfortunate bad luck injuries, and I mean, get him fully healthy. I think you go from there. I think they don't know what they're going to do yet until he's healthy.
Yeah, the health is just it stinks because he comes back in and I think he got right. He pulled something on the special team snap, right? Like it just might be one of those things.
He probably wasn't fully healed at that point, anyways.
Well, that's also possible. That's right, Goose. Nailed it. Nailed it.
Got to bring it back to the draft.
I don't care. Do it.
Let's face it, Goose says Goot is drafting an edge in the first. I don't hate it because you got Rashawn and Van Ness, and still got to wait and see what Van Ness turns into. I don't think Preston is long for this locker room. So at that point, you're talking Rashawn and Kingsley, and hoping that Kingsley and Van Ness fully pan out. And even if they do, that's only 3 guys. I'd like to add some more pieces there.
Yeah, let Jared Verse fall. Thanks, NFL. Appreciate
Jared Verse is a freak. All right, I'll
Latu might drop because of like health concerns. Like there's that whole
Yeah.
like he medically retired, right?
And if we don't,
Guy
if we
sitting
do
there at
take an
20
edge,
HP, okay.
if we take an edge, then that means that Goot probably can't take JJ McCarthy.
It's so funny because I'm sitting here just thinking like, man, I really think this is going to be a good class. There's going to be so many crushes, like the wide receivers, even the edges, like all that stuff. And then there's going to be that he can't ruin it for me because there's so many great things. And then JJ McCarthy is going to be just hanging there. Like that's the one thing. Like don't,
because they
like,
would do it. Like
just
JJ said last
do
week,
it.
they would do it, and it's
right.
As soon as I can find a betting site that let me put like $1 on JJ McCarthy to the Packers, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Because that'll cash
you
out.
Might as well.
Yeah, that'll cash out at
Might as
10,001. So
right. Like I like JT Tuimoloau. Just make sure you tell them that, hey, buddy, we're playing Penn State this week. Just tell them that every week.
Yeah.
Just tell them we're playing Penn State, because that dude, when it's Penn State, I don't know what he's got against him.
Yeah,
he hates.
I heard Jared Goff is a Penn State fan.
I think that's what
perfect.
Rashawn Gary does, just for Michigan State, though.
Yeah, tell him the Bears are Penn State, and we are so golden there.
Well, I mean, you even look at the Lions games for Rashawn.
Yeah.
He feasts.
Yeah. Just every different edge rusher, just make sure that they're on for one game. Like if Van Ness is on for the Vikings, fine. Just Gary's on for the Lions. Bring somebody in on for the Bears. Like I'm all in.
Chris's comment, I forgot about it, and I don't genuinely think it'll happen, but man, that would just be the greatest thing ever. If they had the #1 pick and Caleb, like the night before or something, you start seeing like the rumors start to come out or whatever, that they're just like, don't do it because we're not coming.
Would he rather play for Chicago or New England though?
I think he'd want to go to New. I mean, you got a proven track record there.
You do, but if like Bill is leaving, like many are speculating,
but
and
that's the thing. Like, I'd want to go there and be like, listen, if you're hanging out, and maybe he would. Like, he's got the defense. And it's like, listen, if we get Caleb, I'll put in a few more years. Otherwise, I'm getting the heck out of here because this sucks.
Yeah, get Caleb and like Leggett. I'm in.
Yeah, if they commit to each other.
Holy crap! Yeah.
I mean, I would hate for New England to be back, but if it's at the cost of Chicago, I would do it. I'm down.
AFC doesn't need another superstar playing QB, man.
Yeah.
Goodness,
it's fine though.
Sure, no, it's fine.
Then we got what? We got Jordan.
Villain,
Jordan's just like tearing it up over here in the NFC. Like
just Jordan Dak, basically.
Yeah, Jordan and Dak,
sometimes
Jalen, who's slipping a little bit.
Sweet, like we'll take it.
Jalen with the tush push. Like congratulations, and that's
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. I don't know.
I kind of think I'd be good with it either way. Like if they have the #1 pick, and Caleb tells him, I'm not coming. Obviously, that's hilarious.
It's just funny.
If they do take him, I don't actually love Caleb that much. I would be more taking Drake May, if I'm being honest. If they take Caleb, I think I'll feel better about it.
So there's 3 scenarios, and all of them kind of work, in my opinion. One is Caleb says that, and it's funny just because he says it. And I think Caleb can be good, just he needs a certain situation. Which is #2, which is hilarious. They take Caleb, and I think it's a terrible situation because we've seen things break down, and I think it kind of goes south for him from what I've seen. And I just think Chicago's I mean, the offensive line is a disaster. I think the offensive coordinator is a joke. I mean, the coaching staff's about to be fired. It's just a terrible situation that I think he could go out there and have a 3-interception game, and it's just we just sit back and throw our head back and laugh. And then the third scenario that's funny is they're forced to take another Mitch Trubisky. I mean, I'm not saying he's Mitch Trubisky. I'm just saying that's going to be the parallels that are. I'm just saying that's the pair. So in the off season, no matter what, I'm laughing. That's all I'm saying.
My favorite thing about this right now is watching Bears fans mock draft right now. Like I'm paying attention, bro. No, I'm paying attention because guys are doing this. This is my favorite thing too. They're like, all right, we're taking Caleb. And then there's like pick 4, and they're like, nah, we're taking Bowers. Like, you absolute idiots. There's 2 elite left tackles there. What are you doing, bro? You're making that Jamar Chase Penei Sewell thing meme with Burrow. You're doing it right there. You're basically being like, yeah, all right, sweet. So yeah, we'll take Caleb, but also it says here he's going to get hit 75 times if we draft Bowers. But it's all right. It's fine. We're fine.
Well, and I want to know
we'll
how
just
many
throw
of them are
screens to Bowers.
how
right?
many of them are
Should
just
be
taking
fine.
wide receivers because they want to stick with
know.
Fields.
Oh, my favorite is, hey, we're trading back to 2. We'll trade with New England. We'll take Harrison at 2, and then we're going to take Bowers at 5.
Then Bowers, yep.
I'm like, all right,
That's
sweet,
all we need.
nice.
All we need is a wide receiver. That's still the narrative.
I'm like, and then just me thinking there, I'm like, all right, Goody, man, just trade up like 5 picks, get Jared Verse, man, because they won't be able to protect him.
Right.
It's over, baby. Like, just draft pass rushers, draft Jerzon,
I love the
and
Bears.
they'll get after Fields or Caleb, whoever. Like, yes. Please let Poles cook like that. Like, okay, it's a cool like Madden fantasy in your head. Like, it's awesome until like, oh hey, did you know? Oh man, Fields broke his thumb again. He's out for 5 weeks. What happened? Oh, your left tackle you thought was like fine. Got ran over by like, I don't know, like Nick Bosa ran him over week 1 and just destroyed the quarterback on top of it. Like,
have you guys seen that clip of this Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson on the sideline, and they're watching Tim Boyle get sacked, and they just look at each other and just do this like sad little smile and head shake, like, yeah, that's
how it goes.
That's this offensive line. I'm glad I'm not the one out there right now.
Same stuff, different day with that O-line, huh?
Yeah. What did Rodgers say? Better him than us.
If somebody else got to get hurt, that's not you, Zach. Hey, buddy,
Yep.
Hey, especially if they already knew that Tim Boyle was talking to Diana Rossini at that point. They're like,
yeah, right.
Hey, hey, Billy Turner, listen, I got a
let him
hot tip for you. I've been stealing the opponent's signs, and they're going to overload the other side. So why don't you just take the next rep off?
Oh man, it's like the thing from Remember the Titans where Sunshine says, "Let him through again."
Oh yeah, right.
But Rodgers is like, "Yeah, let him. Hey, Billy, let him through.
Let him through.
Let him through. He leaked."
Yeah. Don't worry, you've already got 70 pressures on the season. One more isn't going to really hurt your stats.
Oh man.
All right, boys. We've been doing this for 1 hour.
Oh man,
I'm having
that
a
actually
blast.
flew by, man. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
that was a fast hour.
So much fun, and I think this is one of those nights where we could easily do 2 hours, but I gotta work, so I'm gonna sign off from here. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us in the comments. A lot of donations tonight. Super appreciate it. And even more, I appreciate all the questions because holy cow, we had a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Sorry we didn't get to all of them. Definitely more meat on the bone
Amen.
there. Aaron Kate, yes, I did see that they released Tim Boyle. We were talking about at the beginning of the show that the rumor out there is that he was not released for sucking at football, that he was released for leaking information to the press, to Diana Rossini. So unconfirmed. It's a rumor. Don't sue me. But that's the entertaining rumor that's out there. So we're
all walking on air right now, I think. So much so that like we barely even talked like how the Packers stack up with the rest of the teams in the league. Just kind of brush that aside.
Right.
Let the derailers take full advantage of what they do.
We may need to do a second episode this week, second live stream this week if our schedules can accommodate it, because it's just been too much fun.
Yeah, it's true.
All right. Follow us on Twitter at JJ Leahy, at Pack_Daddy, and at Jake NFL Draft to stay up to date on all things Packers or ask us questions. Make sure you're subscribed to Packernet on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for listening, and go Pack Go.